Alright guys, we're walking outside. I've got coffee in my left hand and my Olympus digital recorder in my left hand. And you know what? I found a chair. I shall tell you guys a little bit about this recorder. Now, about the LS-7 compared to almost any other unit I've ever used. The units I've used are as followed. The DM420. I've used old reel-to-reel recorders actually. And none compare to this. The LS-7 Olympus Global digital recorder. And here's why none compare to the LS-7 digital recorder from Olympus Global. On this, I'm able to finagle the volume, both monetarily and auditorily. And what I mean is I can do this, or I can do that. I can also turn up and down the monitor, I can pause it, and I can keep recording. I get stereo field. Hello, right earphone. I can even go further to my right, to the point that I'm so far to the right you can hardly hear me. Let me take off the windscreen. Maybe it'll be able to hear me a bit better now. Okay, so not much of a difference. We'll go to the left earphone. We'll put on the windscreen, back on the windscreen, and I can go right in the center. Hi, I'm coming to you live from the Olympus LS-7 digital recorder. And the other thing about the LS-7 digital recorder that my unit, the old DM420, did not have was the option to turn off the automatic level controller. The DM420 had an automatic level controller that was turned on the whole time. But all it would do would just compress. It didn't have a limiter and a compressor. It would just compress. And something needed to be done. And here comes along the 520. A little bit clunky from what I understand. You know, but it had some of the same glitches, I guess, as the 420. And my buddy Tony, he's got the DM620, and it's pretty doggone similar to this, I guess, the LS-7. And the 620, I guess, with the automatic level control on it, sounds really good. I've actually heard some recordings of his. Sounds decent. It doesn't, you know, sound that bad. The automatic level control does a damn good job at picking stuff up the way it needs to be picked up, especially on low. And when you get into the LS series, almost everything, first of all, is fully accessible in the LS series. And you got the LS, I think the LS4, I think was the first one that came out. It had a couple bugs, blah, 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 did this. The DM, or the LS6 came out, and then we had the LS7, the LS10. So anyway, I'm using the LS7. I can speak on this a lot more. The LS7 is the only recorder to have such a low noise floor that you cannot hear it, except the only other recorder is the LS100 that has a, I think, 4 dB difference of a noise floor, and it's lower. Then again, it's a $200 more expensive recorder. The LS-7 goes for 119. The LS-100 goes for, I believe, almost $400. Big difference. Or is that the Zoom H2N? I'm not sure which. But my point is, you know, you go out, you pick up this stuff, and it's great recording. Now, there's a windscreen on right now. I'll take it off. That you guys hear how much wind this is actually picking up without the windscreen. And the windscreen's back on, and you can tell a major difference. That's something else this recorder came with, that I'm believing the only recorder from the Olympus series that came with the windscreen is the LS-7. In the box of the LS-7, you get a sonority disc. I believe that comes with all Olympuses. It came with my DM420 a long time ago. The USB cable, again, I believe that comes with all Olympuses. A carrying case, again, the same. A windscreen. This is the only recorder I know that comes with it. And a lanyard. All recorders come with it. So, when you're looking at what you get in the box, the windscreen alone is probably around $20. It's a pretty thick windscreen. It's about 2 inches thick, maybe 3 inches thick. And it goes over top these 3 microphones. I've only got the 2 mics on right now because there's some pretty low bass frequencies I don't want to rattle the microphone. But to make a long story short, the windscreen does work. It's, put it this way, it's well worth $119. This is not a promotional video. It's not a promotional ad. It's just a little, demonstration of a recorder. Now here's something that I don't care for in the LS-7. I'm going to turn this up and listen to these buttons here. Listen to this. You guys can hear that they're plastic. Now, if you don't have a problem with plastic, because I don't, then it's going to be a good recorder. If you do have a problem with plastic recorders, then I recommend going with something different. I also have to say, good luck finding a metal recorder under, say, $200 that puts out this kind of quality. There's no compression right now. You're hearing everything for what it really sounds like. I'm in my backyard. I'm not using like the blue screen or whatever the deal is called. I sound like I'm in your right slightly because, well, the recorder's on my right. Here, I'll change hands. And there's a perfect example. No handling noise except for me scooting my hand across. Okay. What's on the unit? First, what's on the unit? Going down the right-hand side, you take your hand down on the mic, and you come across a plug. It's a microphone plug. Turn the power on, and you'll be able to plug in a adapter if you choose to, and plug in a XLR running mic. Go down a bit more on the right-hand side, and keep in mind the recorder is facing you. The screen is facing you. So you're keeping going down past the microphone jack, and you go down, you find this little slot right here. And I can't get it because I don't have fingernails. I clip them all the time. But that's the SD card, which I don't even use. Which, by the way, this can go up to 32 gig SD card. It's looks like a micro SD card. So it takes a 32 gig micro SD card. Not bad. Following down the unit past the SD card, you're going to come across a little slot that kind of looks like an SD card slot, but that's not where the SD card goes. That's where your lanyard goes, and the lanyard works really well. I just set it on my wrist. No handling noise except for me touching the recorder again. Keep going down past the lanyard. Let me get my hand out of this. Past the lanyard, down the bottom of the recorder, and you're going to come across a plastic little slot. That's for your USB slot. Keep in mind, guys, everything's plastic on this. Okay, so you take your other hand from the bottom of the USB slot, and you're going up this time on the left hand side, the first thing you're going to come across is a switch. This is the switch. It doesn't sound too good, but watch this. Okay. Now we're in the hold position, so if I push any button, it doesn't do anything. That's the point. And I'll probably keep it on hold for now. Okay, so you're going past the raised button. It's a switch, and it kind of looks like a braille switch in a way. So anyway, you're going past that, and you come across another hole. That's for your accessory remote pack you can get. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but I think it's like a $30 remote accessory pack. And it's just a little remote. You can get it. It's wireless. Going past the remote slot, you come across your headphone jack, and my Apple earphones are plugged in. They're from Duracell. And then you come across the mics, and this is the windscreen. It's on right now. Let me take it off so you guys can hear without the windscreen. Slide this in my pocket for now. There we are. That'll do it for now. So anyway, past the headphone jack, you've got your mics. Going right up and up right there. My index finger is covering the one mic. I've got a pretty big index finger, so there you go. So we're letting that one up, and right here there's another mic. I don't have it on right now. It's a omnidirectional mic. It picks up a lot more. The frequency response of this mic. Okay, not this mic or this mic, but this mic, which isn't on. The middle mic is 20K to 20 MHz. So anyway, past the left mic, you come across an omnidirectional mic, which is not on, again. And then you got the right mic right here. And again, my index finger covers it. Now, let's put the windscreen back on. Okay. Here's something else about the other recorders. I've talked to people about the Zoom H2s, for example. You get a windscreen with those, I guess. But with that, I guess you just stretch it. You actually have to stretch it to fit it on the recorder, from what I understand. With the LS-7, you can either pick it off, like just by taking it off with your hand, or you push it on. You don't even have to stretch it. Let's just put it this way. I'm a blind person, right? And I set this up myself, the whole 9 yards. The only thing I did get help on was setting up the lanyard. That was it. And that was there because I can't tie really small knots. You guys are hearing this windscreen's working. Let's see what happens when it comes off. This is without the windscreen. This is with the windscreen on, and the wind's still blowing just as hard. So, does the windscreen work? Definitely. The pros of this recorder: really lightweight. It's probably a bit heavier than the iPhone 4. Last time I saw an iPhone, it was a little bit lighter than this. But then again, the last iPhone I saw was an iPhone 3G. Tells you how old I am. And no, I don't have a cell phone, so don't go asking for my telephone number. I really don't have a cell phone. I don't know the first thing about a cell phone, how to work it or anything. It turns on and it makes noise. Hallelujah. Anyway, you can cut or divide a file into 2 different files. Picture splitting a file. You can do that with this recorder. It comes with built-in speech. You can actually turn that off, but considering I'm blind, I have it turned on for obvious reasons. What else? This is just off the top of my head, so if you guys come across anything, please let me know. It does 130 SPL on high. In other words, it'll take that much sound pressure level. In other words, it does 130 decibels on high with your automatic volume adjust turned on. And the reason why I say to keep your automatic volume adjust on when you're doing something that high and when you're on high is because you don't know where to set it when you're on high. I mean, I don't anyway. Then again, I just started messing with this recorder a few weeks ago. So I'm still getting quite used to it. On low, I've actually tried clipping it with a bass guitar. And anybody who knows a bass guitar, how loud those can go, on low, I couldn't clip it. I couldn't peak it. I couldn't distort it. I couldn't do any of this. And that was with the bass mic on, guys. And like I said, there is a bass mic. It's the center mic. I won't show you guys that right now. I recommend when you're dealing with really loud situations to either be on low with the automatic volume gain on, so it'll automatically adjust it for you if you're dealing with really loud noises, or find a volume that you don't think it's going to clip it and take it out into the field and try it. I found mine, my specific volume that I'm going to try when I get the opportunity. Okay. But there you are. Here's a con that you can make into a pro if you choose to. A con of the recorder when you first turn it on, well, first of all, when you first turn it on, it asks for you to do the date and time, blah, blah, blah. Let's skip all that. When you first hit record, okay? When you first hit record, it comes up, and you push record button once, you're in pause or standby. You push the record button again, you're then recording. That's not a drawback. Here's the drawback to that. When you're a very brand new operator, I quickly found out how to work with this, by the way. But when you're a very brand new operator, and let's say you had the DM420 for the longest time like I did, where you just push the record button once and you were recording, and you push the record button again and you're on pause. In that kind of scenario, because you're going to hear the monitor when you're on pause on this. In this kind of scenario, you think you're recording, right? And you hit the stop button, you hit the playback button, and it says, no file, please select a file in the folder. Okay, well, what happened to that file I just recorded? Guess what? You didn't record anything. You push the record button a second time and you're recording. It will beep at you. Okay? Or if you're using the pre-record feature, which is really neat, by the way, it will literally capture let's say I said hi 2 seconds before I hit the record button, it would pick me up saying hi. Even though I didn't hit record until 2 seconds after the fact. That's pre-record feature. And it doesn't beep on that. Here's the con. It doesn't beep, and when you push the record button the second time so you know you're recording, because of pre-record, if you have it turned on, you're going to hear handling noise. Okay? You're going to hear the button being pushed, which was the record button. You're going to hear, hi, how are you? Okay, so when you listen to it back, you're going to hear, hi, how are you? Even though it's on pre-record. So, my point is of doing that, pre-record's great if you're, doing ambiences. I've used it many a times for ambience recordings, and it works phenomenally. I love that feature. But again, that's a con because you're picking up handling noise. Okay. What else is a con of the recorder? When you first record, the automatic level adjust is turned on. I believe you're on low, which it's not a problem. What is the problem is you'll also clip it, even when the automatic adjust is turned on. Here's why. you need to go into the zoom setting of your microphone. It's under the record menu. It says microphone zoom. And you go in there, and you'll see where it says wide 1. Go in there and turn that off. Because what'll happen, even with the automatic level adjust on, you'll peak it, you will clip it, it will clip. And I'm not talking a little clip either, like, and I don't even know if I can do this. I'm not talking a little clip like this, okay? See, this is peaking, it's not really even clipping. You know, and we're on medium right now. If I would have done that normally, or rather factory default, hi birdie, you would have heard a clip, a literal clip, go clear across the spectrum, and it would have hurt like the devil. It would have hurt like the dickens. I don't recommend doing that. So when you do that, you turn everything off, okay? You go in there, you turn all your stuff off, like the automatic level adjust. Turn that off, unless you want that on, because some people actually enjoy it. I like having it on when I'm on medium. That way I know I don't clip. Which, by the way, I'm not using right now. I'm not using the automatic level adjust, but I am on medium. I know it sounds contradictory. I found a volume setting that I prefer on medium for talking like this. That's pretty much the cons of the recorder. It's almost fully accessible. That's a pro. You can set the lighting time. That's a pro. You can actually charge it via USB. That's a pro. You can use it as a storage device. That's also a pro. You can play MP3s, WMA, and WAV files and record in all three formats, up to 96 linear PCM recordings on Wave. Those are all three pros. The stereo field is magnificent. That's definitely a pro. The low mic noise preamps are amazing. Seriously. It really picks up everything around you. Like, for example, you guys hear that bird to my right? I took off my right earphone. It's clearer in the recorder than it is in real life. That's remarkable, because I've got it like amplified here in a way because of my volume settings. What else is pros to this? It's really light. It will literally fit in any pocket. I'm not kidding. It will fit in any pocket. I tried it. Let's just put it this way. Let me take off the windscreen once. I'm going to try something. And okay, so my hand, my headphone's getting in the way slightly. But let's just put it this way, and I'm not holding it real tight either. My hand is basically covering the whole recording, the whole recorder. Yeah, this thing. Let me set this on the palm of my hand. Okay, now I've got a pretty big hand. Okay, this is the whole recorder. It's laying flat, screen facing me. So the screen's up facing my face. This whole recorder is laying flat on my hand. Legitly flat. I'm not even holding it. It's just laying flat on my hand. It's laying flat on my hand. My fingers, I can actually close my whole fingers around it. It's not even touching my fingers right now. Okay? I've got pretty big hands. But on top of that as well, my point is, it will fit in almost any hand. I haven't seen a hand this won't fit in yet. And I know some pretty small people. Anyway, I digress. It literally will fit in any pocket, though. The recording quality is amazing. This whole audio is going to be recorded through this video into this recorder and then out onto YouTube. This whole video is going to be filmed auditorily with this. Okay? And if you guys view this enough and give me some questions on this, I will definitely answer your questions to the best of my ability. I still do have the DM420 unit, which, by the way, I don't believe Olympus Global is making anymore. If you're interested in me doing a review comparison video, ask. I'll be more than happy to help you out in that department. I will definitely do a review, if you want me to, of both units. Let's just put it this way. I've had the DM420 for almost 2 years. I had the LS-7 for almost 2 weeks. I'm in love with the LS-7. That's my deep, dark secret. I was cheating on my DM420, and it wants to get a divorce from me now because it found that I had another. It's the LS-7. I know. Anyway, that was some horrible irony. Anyway, I digress. I don't know why, but that little skit that I just did reminded me of an ancient Shakespearean thing. If you found this review helpful, give it a, I think it's a thumbs up, I think is what it's called. I think it's just the like button, I'm not sure which. Well, I know there is a like button, but I don't know if the little emoticon's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Well, I'm guessing it's a thumbs up. I'm guessing the dislike button is the thumb down. Anyway, give it a like. Don't forget to rate and subscribe for more like this and other random videos that have nothing to do with this. For example, shooting, or music, or cars, or technology reviews. Rate and subscribe for your dose of random bullshit. Take care, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, write them in the little comment section box thing below. And we will talk to you later. Peace.